Okay, so look at this pattern. What we have is we are printing dots 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are printing a number. Then dots, then number, dots, number, dot, number, and no dot. So there is a pattern in this printing. The pattern is the dots are decreasing and numbers are increasing. So as you can see, there were 4 dots on line 1, then line 2 have 3, 2, 1, and then 0. So dots are decreasing by 1 and numbers are increasing by 1. So we are printing dots first, and then on the same line you have to print the number, and then you have to move the cursor to the next line. So let's look at how that loop table work. So what is loop table? Let me show you with some other examples, and then we will come back to this one. Let me stop the share and let me share my PowerPoint slides to understand how the loop table works. Let me move this. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see the PowerPoint slides? Okay, can you see the full screen, or can you see like a split screen? Are you looking at the split screen or a full screen saver kind of thing? Okay, presentation, you're looking at this one. Okay, so take a look. This is the loop table. How we create a loop table? You have this pattern given, the value to print, and how you evaluate is with the number of lines. So how we create a loop table, you put a count how many lines you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You write the number of lines over here, which is the count, and then what values you want to print. So we want to print these values on line 1, we want 2, line 2, we want 7, line 3, 12, and line 4, and line 5. So you have just printed these table in a pattern like this. Now take a look. The numbers are increasing, right? The numbers are increasing. To find the pattern, that whether this printing scenario have a pattern or not, what number they differ. So what's the difference between 2 and 7? It's 5. Then 7 and 12, it's 5. 12 and 17, 5. And 17 and 22, 5. So they all have a difference of number 5, right? So what we will do is we will take 5 and do a multiplication with the count. After doing this, we have this scenario, right? Whatever the difference we have, as the numbers are increasing, so the number is positive. If the pattern is decreasing, then the number will be a negative number. Times count, so this is your number of lines. You just do a multiplication. 5 times 1, 5, 2 times 10, 3 times 15, 4, 20, and 5, 25. So this is what we have. Now, what do you think you will do to this count or this value? What to do with this 5 so that you get the answer 2? What do I do with this 5? I will subtract 3. I will subtract 3 and I will get 2. If I subtract 3 from 10, can I get 7? Yes. If I subtract 3 from 15, can I get 12? If I subtract 3 from 20, am I getting 17? And same goes for with 25. Am I getting 20? Am I getting 22? That's correct. So it means to complete this formula, I have to say -3. So 5 times count -3, that's the condition I have to print this pattern. So, and it can go as many numbers as you want, like if you have more count, and I have the formula to print the similar pattern. Does this make sense? Is it making sense? This is just to understand how loop table works. Okay, so that's how we will do. Let me move on to our, as you can see, 5 times count -3 is your final formula to print to get the desired pattern it is given using the loop table. So let's take a look at another example with the loop table. Take a look. Now you have to print this pattern. As you can see, the pattern is decreasing. The numbers are decreasing: 17, 13, 9, 5, and 1. So pattern is decreasing. What we need to do is First of all, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have number of rows. Then what are the desired output you need? We need 17, 3, 9, 5, 1 like this. Okay. Now, first of all, take a look. Are they, is the difference, what's the difference between these numbers? Do we have a common number? What's the difference between 17 and 13? 4. Difference is 4 between the numbers. Yes, 13 and 9, 4, 9 and 5, 4, 5 and 1, 4. So it means this is a pattern. When they differ by the same number, it means these are within a pattern. So they all differ by 4. So it means -4. Why we have said -4? Because the pattern is decreasing. That's why we will do negative sign with the number, whatever the difference they have. So -4 times count, just like we did 5 times count in the previous one, -4 times count, and we will just multiply, right? -4, -8, -12, 16 and stuff, or whatever the answer we get. Now, what you will add to this -4 that you get 17, because you cannot subtract anything from -4 to get 17. 17 is a positive number. It means we have to add something to this -4 that will bring this 17. So what do I add to -4 that we get 17? What do I add? 21. 21. So if I add 21 to this -4, am I getting 17? 21 added to -8, am I getting 13? 21 added to 12, -12, am I getting 9? Check with all the patterns. So is 21 is the number? Yes, 21 is the number. So here is your final formula, -1 times count plus 21 to print this pattern. So if you increase the count, it doesn't matter. We have the pattern, it will work, and it will automatically detect what is the number you want to print. Okay, so this is how the loop table works. You need to identify the difference, you need to identify the pattern, how you will be creating the formula. Now, this is your actual task. This is your actual task, right? Remember, dots and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines. Number of dots on each line: 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Complete the table. Send me your answers in the direct chat. Complete the table. Okay, so we have some answers in the chat. Let's take a look. So your numbers are decreasing. So it means it will be a negative number. So we will say negative, but first what we do is we find the pattern and the difference. So the difference of all the number is -1. They are decreasing by -1. So we will do -1 times the line we have. -1 times line, which is -1, -2, -3, 4, and 5. Now what I will add to this -1 so that I can get 4 dots on one line, it will be adding a -1 plus 5. So -1 times line plus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is the formula to get, which will get me the number of dots for my pattern. So let's move on to Eclipse and see if how to evaluate this in our code. Let me share Eclipse. Can you see my Eclipse? Okay, now let's move on to comment, and let's write our code where we have for loop, which will be the number of lines, which is kind of our outer loop. For int I equals to 1, I will be less than equals to 5, and I plus plus, and then starting curly braces, ending curly braces, and we have our nested loop, which is kind of printing our pattern. So for how to print the pattern is for int j equals to 1, j will be less than equals to, like now what's the pattern we have? It's -1 times number of lines, right? So who knows the number of lines? Our I is handling the number of lines plus 5. So this formula will create that pattern we are looking for, and then semicolon and J++, and in some starting curly braces, ending curly braces for inner J loop, and system dot out dot println, not ln, sorry, print, and we have double quotation marks and print a dot, double quotation marks close. And now how to print the number at the end? It will be as the number is printing only once. So the number is only printing once. So we'll print, make it part of your I loop, system.out.println, and put ln that after printing this number, which is I is the number, because on line 1 it's 1, line 2 it's 2, then print. Let's run our code. And as you can see, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the number of dots we have. Any questions so far? No? Any questions? How we have created this formula using our loop table? Great. Okay, so let's stop the